In this video, we'll be building a team of research AI agents that specializes in taking news, such as the latest on NVIDIA or the latest on Bitcoin, and taking that, automating that process from the news to building a newsletter. So here's a spreadsheet that has some information on some of the news I want to monitor. I want to monitor the latest news on Bitcoin. I'm interested in the latest news on NVIDIA, and I'm interested on a new company that I'm monitoring on Sophie Technologies. Let's start executing the workflow. So I have here a schedule trigger that is set to trigger once a day. It'll go to my Google Sheets and pick all the different items that I'm interested in monitoring. And then it's going to loop through each and every one. And for each one, I'm going to do some detailed research on the particular topic and break down the topic into multiple sections. And then I'm going to have a team of research assistants then research each part of that specific item that was broken down by the research leader. So this project planner is now planning the delegate all the different work items, and then each of the research assistants will then be able to execute and do their research. And it's going to use in this whole process a research tool called Perplexity. And this Perplexity tool will be able to get information from the web in real time. And afterwards, we're going to publish this with an editor that pulls all the information together and then sends that to my Gmail. So we'll let this finish and I'll show you the result of it. So now the workflow is done and I've done research for all three topics. So from the first topic, it sent me an email talking about the Bitcoin market trends, regulatory impacts, and trading strategies. So it's a detailed article that has citations embedded inside of it. So you have citation here, and citation here, as well as then the list of sources. So if I go into one of the citations, it gives me exactly where I pulled that information from. And then same thing for the next one with NVIDIA. So I said I was interested in NVIDIA and monitoring that. And again, it's produced a very, very detailed report on that. And then the third one is with Sophie Technologies. And again, very, very detailed report with the source auto-citated. Right? So what I can do with my newsletter then is to take this, copy this, and then in a newsletter tool like Kit, I can just use this as a starting point. So I'll copy that. And it already has such a great starting point for me to edit and then share the newsletter. All right, so let's do a detailed walkthrough of how this works. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the News to Monitor node, and it's a very, very straightforward node, taking the Google Sheets and then connecting my monitor spreadsheet, which is very simple. It just has a list of the news items. And then from there, I do the loop over items. This is also very straightforward. And then the settings gives a lot of flexibility here. So in the settings node, what I have is the event to monitor. So this is from the spreadsheet. So I have the event. And then I can choose a detailed report or a simple report, right? So for the detailed report, it'll go through the path that we've shown. But then for a simple report, there's just a very simple path that gives you not as much detail, but gives you a quick overview. So it goes up this route and then also does a email at the end. But let's focus more on this path here. So then what we do is we check whether it's detailed or not. If it's detailed, then we go down this path here. This is based on a previous video where we looked at a team of researchers and built out the auto citation ability. So we go into the research leader, and this research leader is responsible for analyzing the topic and then starting to create a table of contents so that the next agent, the project planner, can then break down the work into the various work items. And there's a prompt here that allows us to do that in a way that is very reliable. And then we, of course, delegate this to the team of research agents. And each research agent has a portion of the work. So you can see here for the Bitcoin case, it's going to focus, the first agent is going to focus on Bitcoin in this topic, and then the strategy, and then reforms under President Trump, and then various other things here. So each of these agents will go ahead and do that. We merge it, and then finally, the editor does this, and then is able to create the title afterwards, and then we send the email. Now, what's interesting here also is in the settings, you have the ability to have a time window. So this time window, uh, you can say day or week or month. So what this will do is it'll default to week, but what this will do is that when you do the research, it will only pick up the citations on the news that's within the past week or the past day, or in the case of month, past month. And if you leave this blank, then there's no limit on the citations. Now, going into the perplexity node, each of the research leader, project planner, and research assistant uses this perplexity tool. And this perplexity tool is a very, very powerful tool, and I'll open that up. So we get an API key directly from perplexity.ai. So we'll open this up, and we have in here the endpoint, and then we've set in here a credential. So in the API key, what we do is we set authorization, and then the value here for the key. And then in here, we give it the specifics of the request. So we're using a large online model, which is based on Llama 3.1. And then as part of what's passed into Perplexity, we use the query from the research agent, so the specific topic that the research agent is interested in doing. And then we also look at the search recency filter. So whether it be a day or a week or a month, or if it's empty, then there's no restrictions on that. And then we output from this tool a response that includes the citations as well. So not only the information, but also the citations. So then, of course, after we do for one, we loop over and provide the exactly same flow for all the news items within this list. So one of the things to highlight to set up this workflow is that Perplexity, you can go get an account and the API key from here. So perplexity.ai, and then there's settings. So you can go here and then go to the API tab, and then you can create API key from here through here. Okay, so after you've created the API key, you can go into the header auth here. So header auth, and then you create the credentials in here. So create new credentials, and then you type authorization, and then here you put bearer. So bearer like this, and then the API key. And that's it. That's all you have to do to set up this Perplexity tool. To wrap up, we've been able to take the latest news and use a team of research AI agents to take that news and convert that into a draft newsletter in a very automated way, complete with auto citation. Very, very cool.